Hey everyone, welcome back to the Little Shop of Hoarders and the PDX Picker channel. I am Chris. We're going to pull some orders that had sold for me on eBay, talk about what's going on in the reselling world, getting ready for the Christmas season and the latter part of the fourth quarter. So stick around after the intro song. We'll talk about some steps that you should take and some great items that have sold for me.
Wanna buy that Farrah Fawcett poster? Pez dispensers and a toaster. Don't know why. That kind of stuff you throw away. I'll sell on eBay.
All right, so I am confronted. Today is Veterans Day, so it's postal holiday, so I don't have to get some items shipped out, but I have two items from my last order pulling video that I haven't shipped yet. It's these guys right here, and I'm just dreading them. I hate shipping these big items. The primary reason is I never have good boxes to ship these in. So my first question for all of you out there in the reselling world is, what do you do in order to ship these big items? Do you purchase boxes, and what kind of boxes are you purchasing? Because these boxes that are this size are just prohibitively expensive as far as I'm concerned. I know some people buy moving boxes from maybe Home Depot or Walmart or things of that nature, but just let me know, what do you guys do to ship these larger items? How do you secure your boxes? What's your system? I haven't really figured out a good one yet, and usually what I plan on doing is just not buying those items or not listing those items. I still have a couple of vacuums that I need to list that I haven't, because I just don't want to worry about getting boxes to ship them. But I'm going to have to figure this one out, because those need to be going out here much sooner than later. So another update, a few of you might remember from a video several back, I had purchased this big huge lot of Mega Blocks. It's actually a set called Dragar Castle Mega Blocks from like 2003. Paid $12.50 for this at my thrift store, and I was super excited because full complete sets of these can go for $200 to $300. Well, I took it all out. It's not even close to a complete set. And based off of my research, it's not really worth parting out all the individual pieces. Hardly any of them sell. One thing that did sell was the instructions, which I did have, and those instructions sold for $20 free shipping. So there's no other instructions listed. I went ahead and listed mine for $30 free shipping with offers turned on. So hopefully that will sell in the next couple of months, and I'll at least get my money back for that. But that was definitely frustrating. The other big item that I had picked up that same day was a charger for like a medical lift, and I was missing a piece on that, but I ended up reaching out to somebody who also sells them online, and they told me what I can do or where I can find that missing piece. So hopefully I'll be able to get that fixed and sell that one for about $250 as well. Or not as well, but $250 instead of nothing, like the Mega Block set is turning out to sell for. I sold another Fisher-Price movie camera. I see it there in the back. I bought two of these a while back. Paid about $7 for $7 each for them. It's all bundled up here, but it's these Fisher-Price movie cameras, and it has the three movies that came with it. These are kind of just generic. I think they're more like Sesame Street or Looney Tunes ones. So that sold for $27.95. The other ones that I had listed were Disney themed, so it came with a camera and some Disney films, and those ones sold for maybe $35 or $38, so probably $38. Pretty good sale for those. So those came out, I think, in the 70s. Fisher-Price Movie Viewer is what they're specifically called. Pull one more item, and we're going to talk about just real basic things on what I have been doing for getting ready for the fourth quarter. It's not too surprising, I think, for most people, but nonetheless they are important and things that we should all be doing. This is a shirt that's sold. I just can't find where I put it. It's somewhere here on the rack. There it is. It's a cool KUHL double XL shirt, specifically the Dillinger soft flannel. Looks like that right there. Picked that up for $4 at a garage sale, and that sold for $19 plus shipping. Nice, good. I wish this was a smaller size because I would have kept it for myself because it looks super comfy and nice to hang out with. It's just pouring rain here and windy and chilly in the Portland, Oregon area. So it is definitely comfy fleece weather, flannel fleece weather. So like I say, I wish this was a little bit smaller. I would have kept it for myself, but instead sold it for $19. So I just got a big shipment in from FedEx today, and that's the topic that I want to talk about here. So it's the fourth quarter. It's we're within 5-6 weeks now of Christmas, or at least pretty close to that. And hopefully that means it's going to be a very busy season for you in terms of selling a lot of items. So a lot of people will make sure to talk about your the types of items that are good to source and sell at this time of year. We'll let other people tackle that topic. Another thing that we want to make sure that you are prepared for, and I wanted to make sure I was prepared for, was making sure I had enough shipping supplies. So I started using Zoro, Z-O-R-O, for my shipping supplies. I'm not sponsored by them. This is not any sort of review or anything like that. I'm not pushing you towards them, but I'm just letting you know that I've just started to use them lately. I've gone through multiple different box supply companies, and I think I like them right now the best. Their prices are good, which is first and foremost important, but I don't usually have to worry about items being out of stock, like box sizes that I use, and I go to order them and they're not available. Like I've had that happen with some of my other supply companies in the past. But basically what I did, and I recommend you do this as well, is I just took a look around my shipping supply inventory. So for me, I have these shelves here that I try and keep all of my shipping supplies on. I have this shelf here. Don't look too close at it in terms of getting any good ideas from it because it's not that pretty. And then I have this shelf here, and then I have a few shelves over there that I store some things for closeness. But I knew that I was getting low on my probably my most used box, which is the 6x6x4 size box. 12 by 12 by 6 is always, or excuse me, 12 by 6 by 6 is always a big one for me. 10 by 8 by 4 goes right here, and then I was completely out of the 8 by 6 by 4s. I ordered some of these electronics dusters because I wanted to get some better ways for cleaning off some of the kind of the finer detail items that are old and dusty. So I ordered some of those, and then I made sure to order some more packing paper. So I've been getting this from Amazon, and I decided to order from Zoro, which are these, I got 50-pound paper. That's that brown paper right there. And this is like a 30-pound weight. So the 50-pound weight, it's going to be a little sturdier. I think it's going to help with some of my shipping issues, although I've been doing really well lately. I haven't had anything break in transit. I haven't had any returns or concerns or issues from that regard. But just having a little bit more sturdy paper will just help those packages get to their destinations more safely. It does add a little bit of weight to the package, but I think it's a fair trade-off. So I also made sure to order a bunch more padded envelopes because I was completely out of those. And so that's the moral of the story here, is don't get caught flat-footed. Don't get caught in a position where you need to ship a bunch of items because hopefully things are selling fast in your stores at this time of the year, and you don't want to run out of boxes or run out of any sort of shipping supplies where you can't ship your items safely and on time. So make sure that you are regularly doing inventory checks on your shipping supplies so that you don't get caught flat-footed, like I said, and run out of things and have to scramble to get items shipped on time. I did go sourcing, as I mentioned last week. The previous video that came out today, actually. I showed you that I went to my thrift store, and I also went to an estate sale and the Goodwill outlet. I'm going to show you some of my favorite estate sale finds for resale because they were fun. It was a pretty good estate sale. As I mentioned, I got there at 9:20 and thought it started at 9. Sat around in line for like 30, almost 40 minutes. Line hadn't moved at all. I was about ready to leave because that was just ridiculous to me to have to wait that long. Well, it turns out the estate sale opened at 10, so that's why the line wasn't moving. Anyway, I'm glad I stuck around. Did find some good things. This first one is this cool bar mirror sign. Needs a little bit of cleanup for sure, and certainly not in 100% great shape. But I only paid $12 for this at the estate sale, which was cool. You know, it's got some condition issues on there, but for the most part, I think this, yeah, I don't know what the point of that is, but like maybe you can, so it says Happy Camper there, but you can maybe replace that with other ones. I don't know. Kind of interesting. So I don't know exactly what I'll get for that. Maybe 50 bucks, maybe 25. I don't know. Hopefully something semi-decent. The homeowner, the owner of the house where the estate sale took place was a huge Green Bay Packers fan, and he had a bunch of Green Bay related items. I did pick up these 2 vintage jerseys. This is the first one here. It's a Champion, made in the USA. Number 92 is Reggie White. Picked that up for $15. Is that what it was? There's a sticker or something. Yeah, $15 on that one. So I had to pay up for sure, but I'm gonna, these can sell for $45, $50, maybe $60. So I'm going to list that ASAP, try and catch the end of, well, it's about we're about halfway through the football season, so try and catch some later buyers of football jerseys. And then this one here is also a Packers jersey, and for those of you that are like, that doesn't look anything like a Packers jersey, well, this is a retro, a throwback jersey that they wore in the 90s, and number 84 is Sterling Sharp. So this is a Wilson, made in the USA, vintage 90s throwback jersey. Had to pay $30 for it, so definitely paid up on this. And I really thought long and hard about this one. Comps on this one are kind of all over the place. They go for as little as $50, but some go for as much as $120. I think there's one crazy one that went for $300 for no particular reason, probably just money laundering. But anyway, I'm gonna shoot on the high side, ask $120, and I might sit on it for a while. I'm sure I will sit on it for a while, but you never know. So that was a fun pickup. I like these cool vintage jerseys. I don't like having to pay up on them, but it's okay. And last vintage item, clothing item anyway, was this camel smooth character, kind of a nylon like tie-dye almost hat. Probably not much value, probably shouldn't have bought it, but I didn't comp it, it was $3. Sometimes these vintage camel things, or vintage smoking, cigarette related companies, you can see is made in Taiwan, so probably from the early 90s would be my guess. Sometimes these are worth a decent amount. It's not in the best of shape. It's got stains. It's got, you know, misshapen pieces to it. Like I said, probably shouldn't have paid $3 for it, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm a sucker for these vintage clothing items. The owner of this house was some sort of a machinist, would be my guess. Either that or he just loved tools. Because he had, not only did he have some machinist type tools, but he had thousands and thousands and thousands of hand tools. There was a guy in front of me that, no joke, probably bought 250 of them, and they were all individually priced. So waiting behind him in the cashier's line was not very fun, but it's okay. So I picked up a whole bunch of hand tools, a bunch of these micrometers. So these micrometers were all $5 each. I think there's 4 of them. And this here is also a micrometer. This is a Mitutoyo micrometer. So this one came in the box and was $6. This one I think sells pretty well for $30 or more. There is one Starrett in here. I think it's this one. I don't know, maybe not. So Starrett is a good, I think it's this one actually, is a good brand for sure for micrometers. I don't know on these, some of them, especially the non-branded, well, they all have some sort of brand on, but not a well-known brand. I'm hoping to get anywhere from 20 on up for these. These are kind of cool. They're Eiffel geared, or Eiffel, excuse me, E-I-F-E-L, Eiffel geared plier wrenches. Plier and wrench combined into one word. These are vintage from God knows when, but these have a pretty good sell-through rate in the $25 to $35 range, and I got 2 of those. And this one, this is a Victor Flashback Arrestor Flame Buster, goes on torches, brand new in the package. Originally, this was $70. That's why I bought that for 10. I looked it up later on. I think maybe I'll get 30 or 40 for those. And then this one, not much value, but I just think these are cool. This is a vintage ice tray. I love that pink. I don't know if it's coming through there, but that pink aluminum tray color, and then super cool handle on this to loosen and get the ice out. It was only $2 for this. These don't sell for a ton by any means, maybe $15. And I thought it was just a cool looking piece as well. And then I did go to the Goodwill outlet. I'll only show a couple of things because most of it is clothing. It's kind of boring. But first pickup, both of these were interesting. They were. I had a tactic that I used at the outlet this time around, and it was to look at the very bottom of the bins and all of them. So I almost purposely went straight for the bottoms to try and find. These are on bins that had already been out for a long time, so it's not like the brand new bins that had come out. And I did find quite a few pieces. I found a couple of cashmere pieces in there. I was really looking for sweaters and cashmere pieces specifically. Also wool pieces, because those are pretty hot items at this time of the year. I did find these plaid flannel-lined Carhartt jeans. They're not in the best of condition. There is a couple of holes here in the back, but there are not any holes in the crotch area, which to me is a no-go when it comes to buying jeans. Any holes in the crotch area, I'd stay far away from. Got some staining on these, but I only paid about $3 and some cents for these because they're based off of weight. And the plaid flannel-lined Carhartt jeans can sell for $30 to $45, depending on condition. I'm thinking probably closer to the $30 range for those. And then this item here was actually I had to rescue it because it was in a bin that was being taken away by the Goodwill employees because it had been out for too long and they had been picked over and they were going to replace it with a new one. But I found this here and it just looked cool because it was nice and shiny and retro. I looked inside. It's okay condition. I think that's glass inside there, so I wanted to make sure it wasn't cracked, and it's not. But this is a Alfie, A-L-F-I, made in Germany, vintage chrome pitcher of sorts, and those can sell for a lot of money, anywhere from, and some of them sell for $50, $60, $70. This one probably in the lower side, maybe $25 or so. But like I said, I rescued it. There were many people that were had picked this and looked all over. Lots of resellers, lots of people that were looking for things before me, and they all passed this up. But I did find it there. I rescued it at the last second. So moral of the story is, don't be afraid to look at the bins that have been heavily picked over at Goodwill, because sometimes you will still find some good items. And I hate fighting for, fighting with the people with the new bins. It's just, sometimes it's okay. If it's not too busy, I will do it. But if it is busy and I'm in there, getting pushed around and stuff, and you're playing kind of the lottery, because whatever section, you have to stand and wait for at least that's how my Goodwill outlet works. They replace the bins every, 4 or 5 hours, or sometimes it takes a day or more before they'll replace it. And after they move them all back, you have to stand in line and make a big circle around where the new bins are going to go. And you have to wait until all 16 of them are put into place, because they've had people that fight, and so you can't touch anything until the last one has been put into place. And so you're just kind of at the whim of whatever happens to be placed in front of you. If it's good, great, you have access to good stuff. But if it's bad, then you just wasted all that time standing around. So I don't really like to do that, and so I usually don't. But it's sometime is still okay, because you can still find good stuff even on the picked through bins. All right, this next item I picked up at Goodwill. I only picked it up because I knew it would sell super fast, and it did. It is an original OEM original Xbox controller. There's two different types of these controllers. One has a breakaway cable on it, so there's this piece that you can pull it apart, and I don't know why, but that one is way more popular and much more valuable than this one, which does not have that breakaway piece. But I don't have an Xbox. I originally bought this to keep in case I did get an Xbox console. I don't really want to get an Xbox console ever, so I just sold this untested, as is, $15.90 free shipping. So, but it sold in at most 2 days, more likely a day. So I'll make, $5-6 on it. There's no returns allowed on it, so no matter what, I will get some money out of that one. I'm finding a sweet spot. Some people won't do this, and you do have to deal with returns, but I, especially if I'm finding these at the Goodwill outlet, I will do this pretty much all day. And what it is I'll buy Levi's jeans, as long as they're not skinny versions, so I'll basically pay $1.50 or $2 for them, and I will sell them all day quickly at some point in the next month or at most 2 months for anywhere from $13 to $19, maybe a little bit more if it's a better pair. But so this is a pair of Levi's 513 jeans. Right here, I labeled these as distressed because they are. But again, so as I mentioned, there's a huge hole in the butt on this one, but it's not in the crotch. Okay, there are some wear holes in the crotch, but not like that one. So I listed these as distressed. I made sure that people realize that was in there. I called it that. When you have a hole like of this size, it's in the clothing world, it's referred to as a bullet hole. And so I mentioned that there's a bullet hole in the rear portion, and I still sold those for $14 plus shipping. So not huge money by any means, but fast, quick, easy money. Those are easy to list, easy to ship, and fast money. All right, so I don't know what it is. The clothing gods, it just was funny to me. I had this listed forever, months and months and months. And I was just about to list kind of a sister version of it. So this is it's a bathing ape or bape. I don't know how many of you are familiar with it. I wouldn't be too worried about it. I did sell 2 pieces for good money, but I think it's on the downward trend. It used to be maybe 3 years ago or 2 years ago. It was very popular, kind of a high-end-ish meme brand maybe. Kind of a funny, look. So this one is a double XL. It's one of these hoodies that you can zip all the way up, and there's like a shark face on it. And I bought this at Goodwill. Didn't pay very much for it, about $8 for it. Had it listed forever for $199.95, and because these new are stupidly expensive, or at least they were a couple years ago. Eventually, it made it into my 40% off sale, so I had it listed for $120, and then somebody sent me an offer for $102, and I took it, which very, very good profit on that one. But I kid you not, I am in the process of listing this item. I'm on my phone, I'm listing it, I've put the pictures in there, I'm ready to work on the item specifics, and it is this bathing ape sweatshirt here. This is a different version, obviously. Similar in terms that they're both camo, but this one is just a crew neck pullover. I am in the process of listing that one when that first one, the hoodie, sells. So then I list this one, and there's a lot of these listed. There's like 45 of these listed, and maybe 6 had sold. So I'm not holding out hope, but I list this for $59.95. I picked this up I got really lucky. There's somebody that just lives down the street from me. He and his son started to get into buying storage unit auctions. So they have this nice big shop on their property. All the good stuff that they find in the storage unit, they actually have sales about once a month, kind of like a garage sale version, shop sale. And I picked these up along with 5 or 6 other good pieces of clothing. So I picked that up for about $8, and that sold. I listed it for $59.95, which is way lower than what all the other ones were listed at. The other ones are listed at anywhere from $90 to $120 and more. Listed that for $59.95, and it sold in about a day. I'm perfectly fine with listing something for $60 and selling it in a day, even though I maybe could have got a little bit more. I don't think I could have, because like I mentioned, there's 44 listed, 6 had sold. Yes, they were all the comps were in the $90 to $100 range, but if I had listed mine for $90 or $100, it would have just been lost in all of the other listings. Might not have sold for 8 months like the hoodie did. So very happy with that. And now we're stuck with this item, which I've already sold once, and now I get to, but then the person canceled, but now I actually have to sell it and ship it. It's this Coleman Stove here. Picked this up for $5. Had it listed for a long, long time. Eventually made it into my sale and it sold for $22.50. Now I have a big stupid thing to try that I have to ship as well, but at least this one is much simpler because it's long, but it's flat, and I have a lot more. I come across a lot more boxes. I don't know if any of you reuse your Amazon boxes, but for good or bad, my family is a huge Amazon family, so we get Amazon boxes a lot, and so some of the bigger ones I like to reuse for the bigger items, and usually we'll have some boxes that are kind of that shape. So that one will be a little bit easier to ship. Still really not looking forward to these, that blender pitcher and especially the New Wave oven cover. Ugh, I don't know how the heck I'm gonna figure that one out. Anyway, that stove sold for $22.50 plus shipping. Buyer paid $20 for shipping. Where is it going? It's going to Puerto Rico. I might have really not done too well on that one, so we'll see. Whatever. If I have to pay money to get it off my hands, it's not the end of the world. All right, couple more items that sold for me. This is another mini mates. So these are these Ghostbusters mini mates that I bought a couple of months ago. Or not, a couple of years ago. It took me a long time to list them. I probably should have looked at which one sold because I have multiple in here. They look like this, just so you know what I'm talking about. They're just, I think they're from 2014, maybe 2011. I paid about $5 each for them, and some of them are much better than others. These are the Janine and Slimer version, sold for $17.97 plus shipping. These were not, like the cards on them were not very in good condition. It happened to be that one that I showed you. I have two other ones, but again, yeah, this one here paid about, well, let's just say $6 for it, and it sold for $17.97 plus shipping. I have to tell you though, this weather, not a good sign. It's already got me down. It's only November 11th, and I've got 6 or 7 more months of rain and clouds and yuck. But you know, it's kind of a bummer that our wedding anniversary is when it is, because that's the reason why we went to Hawaii in November, was for our 10-year wedding anniversary. But so basically right at the beginning of the bad weather season, we got our vitamin D sun fix in Hawaii, but I wish it was more towards the middle or the end, because I'm already just, I got that seasonal affective disorder. This weather is already bringing me down. It's just gross. Next item that's sold is a pair of UGG wired ear muff headphones. These are literally UGG earmuffs that have headphone speakers in them. I'd assumed that with the time of the year these would be quick sellers, and they were. Paid $7.99 for them. You can see they, I don't really want to pull them out because it's kind of hard to get them back in there, but they are old school with the plug-in headphones. They are not Bluetooth, but those still sold for $20 plus shipping. Comes in this box here, so maybe somebody can re-gift it. I don't know. But I knew it was going to be a quick sale, and it was, because I didn't price it too high. There's a lot of people that price those in the $35 range, and they sit on them forever. Okay, this is another item that I listed and it sold in a couple of hours, similar to this Bathing Ape crew neck. Okay, this is a Dooney and Burke purse that I picked up for $4 at a church rummage sale. Nice orange pebbled leather, pretty good condition. It didn't have the key fob that comes with it, which is just a little leather key fob that looks somewhat similar to this tag here. But one with that key fob sold for $80 recently, and but there's a bunch of others that are listed, maybe 40 that are listed, and only maybe 4 have sold. So not a great high sell-through rate on this specific version of it, but I listed mine a lot lower than the others. I listed mine for $44.95. I mean, I bought it for $4. That's still a great profit on it. I did turn offers on somebody sent me a $40 offer and I accepted it. So rather than sit on this and try and hopefully get $75, $80 for it and be, you know, 1 out of 44 listings that are right priced similarly, I just went ahead and priced it quite a bit lower because I paid a lot less for this. So why not pass along some of those savings? And so turned $4 into $40 in a matter of a couple of hours. So I recommend that strategy if you're okay with paying, you know, not getting top dollar, but if you want to just move something quickly, then that's the strategy to do it. Last 2 items. I'm really just, this next item, I am just doing a, rather get something than nothing for an item. I have been selling hats lately quite well. So this is a 1998 Detroit Red Wings NHL Stanley Cup Champions hat. Picked this up for $1. Had it listed for $9.95. Somebody offered me $7. So I said, sure. Probably shouldn't have picked it up to begin with. I mean, when I comped this, I think there were some that were selling in the 12 or... I think this isn't a super common hat, so I think there was one that had sold maybe. But I'm going to try to not do that as much as I can anymore, which is buy something that only sells for maybe 15 bucks if you're lucky. It's just not really worth taking up the space, taking the time to list those items, because I have so many things that are much higher value that I haven't listed. So let's focus on those. Last item of the day, I really thought this was going to sell for more, and partially I maybe just should have taken it out of my sale. It was in my 40% off sale, so I think it was originally listed for $25, and it is a Arctic Circle AC, the bird, AC coin bank. That's like their mascot. Really, really good condition. This is probably from the 60s, I would say. There's just a couple of marks here and there, but sold for $15 plus shipping. I picked it up for like $1 at a garage sale. So still made a good profit off of it. But you know, with those collectibles, sometimes you have to sit on them, and so that was in my inventory for over 6 months. So it made it to my 40% off sale. Hey, now somebody's getting a really good deal, but I still made a good profit off of it. So that's going to do it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Like this video if you did like it, and we'll catch you on the next video. Good luck with all of your reselling ventures out there. So take care. See you later. Bye-bye.